Most painting business owners don't lose money because their people are bad. They lose money because they pay them the wrong way. They hire a salesperson who's incentivized to discount. They hire a production manager who's paid for hours, not outcomes. They hire admin help, and overhead quietly eats away their profit. If your pay plans aren't designed to protect margin, your team will accidentally destroy it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to pay your team so they protect your profit, not kill your margins. I'm going to answer 3 questions every painting business owner struggles with. First, how do you pay a salesperson so they never want to discount or chase low margin jobs? Second, how do you pay a production manager so that they care about efficiency, quality, and gross profit, not just hours worked? And third, how do you hire a sales manager without bloating overhead and killing net profit? If you've ever hired someone and thought, why does this feel harder and less profitable? This video will show you exactly why and what to do instead. Hey, my name is Daniel Honan. I'm a CPA and former painting business owner. And for the last 10 years, I've helped hundreds of painting businesses grow from startup to multi-million-dollar businesses. And here's what I've learned. Overcompensating your team will kill your margins and limit your growth. The painting businesses that I've worked with that have this dialed in usually scale to the moon. Now, quick note before we dive in, if you want a more structured breakdown of budgeting, pricing, cash flow, and taxes, I wrote a book called Profitable Painter that walks through the exact financial frameworks we use with our private clients. You can get a free copy, just cover the shipping. The link is in the description. Let's get into it. Hiring a residential salesperson. Let's start with sales. This is where most painting companies accidentally destroy their margins. And here's the situation. You need your first residential salesperson. You want them motivated, you want them closing, but you do not want to incentivize discounts or low margin jobs. If you pay salespeople on only revenue, they will underprice jobs. Not because they're bad people, but because that's what you've paid them to do. Charlie Munger once said, show me the incentives and I'll show you the outcomes. So here's the model that actually works. First, every closed job earns the salesperson a base commission of 3% of the job price. That keeps them hungry, aligned with revenue growth, and focused on closing. But here's the important part. Do not stop there. Next, add gross profit based bonuses. This is where margin protection happens. And here's the structure. If the job hits 50% gross profit, the salesperson earns an extra 1% of the job price. At 55% gross profit, they earn an extra 2%. And at 60% gross profit, they earn an extra 3% of the job price. Now think about what that does. High margin jobs pay the salesperson more. Underpricing becomes unattractive. Discounting literally costs them money. Suddenly, the salesperson cares about proper estimating, setting the right expectations, selling value instead of price, following process instead of rushing through quotes. Sales and production stop fighting each other. This is the single most effective sales compensation model for residential repaint that I've seen. When you do this right, close rates improve, gross profit stabilizes, and your salesperson becomes a profit partner, not a discount machine. Hiring a production manager. Now let's talk about the most critical early hire, the production manager. This role directly impacts gross profit, schedule, customer experience, crew morale, and yet most companies pay PMs a flat salary and hope for the best. That doesn't work. You need stability and performance. Here's the model. You split compensation 2/3 base, 1/3 performance bonus. For example, if total target compensation is $100,000, $66,000 is the base salary, $33,000 is performance bonus. This keeps the PM secure, but also motivated. Now, the bonus must be tied to metrics they can actually control, not sales volume, production outcomes. There are 3. First, production volume, hitting weekly and monthly targets, keeping crews fully scheduled, completing jobs on time. Second, gross profit, jobs hitting budgeted hours, tracking labor variances, fixing inefficiencies, managing materials properly. PMs have enormous influence on gross profit. The bonus ensures that they care. Third, Google reviews, job site quality, communication standards, customer experience. A strong PM often increases review velocity by 50 to 200%. And here's why this works. The PM stays focused on quality. They don't resent sales. Growth stays controlled, not chaotic. And the bonus is rooted in controllable performance. The expected outcome, jobs run smoother, gross profit increases by 3 to 7%, and the customer experience improves dramatically within 60 to 90 days. Now, quick tip. If you already have a project manager on salary only, don't switch overnight. Give them 3 months notice. Explain the model clearly. Sell it as an opportunity to make more money while aligning their actions with the company goals. Hiring a sales manager. Now let's move up the org chart. You're ready for a sales manager. This role is about leadership, not just closing. The mistake most companies make is paying sales managers on revenue alone. That rewards discounting. Instead, here's this simple high leverage model. First, pay a base salary of around $50,000. This attracts strong candidates and provides stability. That base covers coaching reps, running one-on-ones, monitoring set rate and close rates, training on objections, ensuring estimating consistency, maintaining CRM hygiene. Then add 3% of gross profit generated by the sales team, not revenue, gross profit. This changes everything. The sales manager now protects margin, trains reps to sell value, focuses attention on high gross profit jobs, has zero incentive to close at any cost. You're building a long-term profit leader, not a volume pusher. When done right, sales teams become disciplined, conversion improves, margins often increase 5 to 10% within a year. Hiring an admin. Finally, let's talk about office admin. Admin support is essential, but overhead bloat kills profit fast. Here's the rule. Keep total admin compensation between 2 and 4% of revenue. That's it. At $1 million, that's $20,000 to $40,000. At $2 million in revenue, that's $40,000 to $80,000. And at $3 million, that's $60,000 to $120,000 in compensation to an admin. This keeps support strong without eroding profit. Now, here's the nuance. In many painting companies, admins and project managers share responsibilities. Scheduling, customer communication, job setup, field logistics, vendor coordination, warranty processing, billing follow-up. Because of that overlap, evaluate their costs together. Admin plus project management compensation should land around 7% of revenue total. If that number creeps higher, profit shrinks fast, even with a strong gross profit. This model works because it prevents office bloat, keeps overhead predictable, protects net profit, and ensures roles complement each other instead of duplicating work. The expected outcome, you reclaim hours each week, operations improve, and overhead stays right-sized as the company grows. If this video helped you rethink how to pay your team for profit, the next step is knowing the few numbers that actually tell you whether it's working. In the next video, I break down 4 numbers every painting business needs to know. The numbers that tell you if your pricing works, if your margins are protected, and if growth actually makes sense. Click the video on the screen now to watch 4 numbers every painting business should know.